I'm very interested in social strata, in terms of like social class. I guess on some level, old money versus new money. At the high end, you have a Balenciaga handbag. At the low end, you have Air Jordans. So what happens when you have this creature walking down the street with Air Jordans and a Balenciaga bag? I'm very interested in what that means. And that trickles down to even every little component of my work. I do everything from performance to sculpture to painting to a giant collage of any material. Pop rivet, sheet metal, spray paint, silk screening, t-shirts. I've done window designs, I've done dresses, I've done jewelry, all from an art perspective, not from a design perspective. I don't really think about the mediums too much in terms of my work. I really think about the idea and what mediums are gonna do that idea the most justice. So if I use automobile sheet metal and I wanna make a piece about the frustration of living in New York City, I need to have taxi cab sheet metal. It's gotta be the right sheet metal. And shredded tire rubber, or pop rivets, or silkscreen imagery. All these things have sort of a defined meaning behind them, or a place in the world that's understood. Like, you know, when you say red, it means red. And so I'm interested in like, okay, what does red mean? You know, what happens when you cover something with bottle caps? You take this forgotten, kind of ugly material, and then you have it clear coated, and suddenly, now it's sort of beautiful. It's some sort of folk art, modernist hybrid. When I use a Trans Am hood, I use it for a very specific reference. I'm not using a Camaro hood from last year. I'm using a 70s Trans Am hood with that phoenix on it, and the phoenix has a very specific meaning. This phoenix, this thing that rises from its own ashes, it's a giant symbol of rebirth. So it's in Greek mythology, it's in Native American mythology, and it occurs like all over the world in different places. But here it is on this like icon of 70s culture, and I'm interested in that meaning and how that spiritual thing ends up on some 70s muscle car. It's like the weirdest thing to me, but I'm very interested in that. The goal of my work is to explore things as thoroughly as possible, but without being preachy. I'm more interested in proposing questions, or posing a question, than I am in trying to say, oh, here's the answer, you should do this. I'm not Gandhi. I'm not Martin Luther King. I'm not sitting on a mountain in a cave to answer any questions. I'm the guy walking up the mountain, putting the work in. What's going on here in our culture? I don't know if my work is going to solve any of the problems in the world or ills of the world, but I am interested very much in like asking questions. I'm not trying to define anything and say, okay, here, this, and this. I'm more interested in saying, okay, what about this? Let's reconsider it.